Good morning. So today is Spy Wednesday. Spy Wednesday gets its name because this is the day on which Judas betrays Jesus to the Sanhedrin. The Gospels of Matthew and Mark and Luke are referred to as the Synoptic Gospels because they include many of the same stories, often in a similar sequence and in similar and sometimes identical wording. All of the Synoptic Gospels include an account of this betrayal. Matthew chapter 26, verses 14 and 15. Then one of the 12, whose name was Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, "What will you give me if I deliver him over to you?" And they paid him 30 pieces of silver. Mark 14, verses 10 and 11. Then Judas Iscariot, who was one of the 12, went to the chief priests in order to betray him to them. And when they heard it, they were glad and promised to give him money. And he sought an opportunity to betray him. While Matthew and Mark simply state that Judas went to the authorities to make arrangements for the betrayal, Luke adds a key phrase to the statement. Luke chapter 23, verses 3 and 4. Then Satan entered into Judas, called Iscariot, who was of the number of the 12. He went away and conferred with the chief priests and officers how he might betray him to them. Some people say that Judas was bad from the beginning. However, the fact that Jesus chose Judas to be one of his 12 disciples makes me wonder. Why would Jesus choose Judas to be in his inner circle for 3 years? Why would Jesus give Judas the responsibility of managing the money bag? Why would Jesus give Judas power and authority to drive out demons and cure diseases? I have a hard time believing that Judas was simply a bad seed because of what he did after Jesus was condemned to die. Then when Judas, his betrayer, saw that Jesus was condemned, he changed his mind and brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and the elders, saying, "I have sinned by betraying innocent blood." They said, "What is that to us? See to it yourself." And throwing down the pieces of silver into the temple, he departed, and he went and hanged himself. That's Matthew chapter 27, verses 3 and 5. Why would an evil man feel remorse at betraying innocent blood? What does that mean for us today, you might ask? Regardless of why he betrayed Jesus, Judas forever will be remembered as a traitor. As Jesus foretold in Matthew, "Woe to the man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that man if he had not been born." When we follow Jesus, we need to follow him faithfully, wherever he leads us. We need to pray for insight on what plans he has for us and our lives. Abraham Lincoln once said, "My concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right." Some things to think about as we journey one day closer to the cross. Blessings on your day.